everyone, it's Nsega here. Welcome back to Trending Global. So we're going to talk about economic war between West Africa, specifically Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire against the UK government.
Ghana is the world's second biggest producer of cocoa, but the country only earns about 2% of the $100 billion industry. Cocoa growers here export most of their cocoa beans to Europe and North America, where they're turned into chocolate. But in 2020, at a press conference in Switzerland, the president announced he wanted to change that.
We intend to process more and more of our cocoa in our country with the aim of producing more chocolate ourselves.
And he said it right in front of the top commerce ministers of Switzerland, one of Ghana's biggest customers.
We are trying to decolonize chocolate. This time around, we are saying that it can be done right here in Ghana.
A trade dispute between Ghana and the European Union over chocolate might lead to a manufacturing revolution in Western Africa. Let me explain what's happening and why this little product here is going to be so important going forward. To the Western world, Africa has just been a place to get raw resources from, not a place to add value to those products. So the business model has always been go to Africa, secure whatever mineral rights you can get, and extract as much as you can from Africa as quickly as you can, and put those minerals either to Europe or to Asia for further manufacturing. But they got a little bit greedy this time, and they may have pushed the Africans too far. So here's the backstory. Ghana, along with Cote d'Ivoire, produces over 2/3 of the world's supply of raw cocoa, and 80% of that raw cocoa is purchased by the European Union, where they manufacture it and turn it into chocolate, which is then sold throughout the world. It's a $100 billion industry, of which Ghana only gets about 6%, which Ghana was okay with until the European Union started to threaten them with sanctions if they did not become more environmentally friendly. Ghana asked the European Union what they had to do to be more environmentally friendly, and one of the suggestions that was made was that Ghana could purchase carbon credits. Now, what's a carbon credit? That's essentially paying someone to not pollute. So what the European Union said to Ghana was, if you pay us not to pollute, we will overlook you not being environmentally sustainable. As you can imagine, this ticked off their government quite a bit. So the president of Ghana wanted to get in front of this issue and not have leverage over him, and he made a bold proclamation that Ghana would not sell cocoa in the same way they had been selling it to their Western trading partners. Instead, over 50% of the cocoa would be processed right in Ghana. Now, some people scoffed at this because they didn't have the manufacturing capacity to follow through with this proclamation, but they really got aggressive, and they started to recruit some of the best food scientists and manufacturing specialists from Europe to start creating Ghanaian chocolate domestically. And in a power play straight out of a business negotiation handbook, Cote d'Ivoire and Ghana both boycotted the Brussels Cocoa Conference this year, showing that they were going to be very serious about declaring their independence from European chocolate manufacturers. If Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire are successful in standing up for themselves against the European Union in this trade conflict, I think this has broad implications to the manufacturing industry across all of West Africa. I believe that we're going to see a lot more factories and a lot more manufacturing done domestically in Western Africa, not simply having the resources shipped to another part of the world to then have the value added.
So, of late, we are fighting against climate crisis across the globe under SDG goal number 13. So apparently, Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire were told that their environmental conditions are not so well. So the UK gave them an idea that they'll be paying for carbon credits for them to see the other way. You get what I mean? The politics of climate change. So they were supposed to pay for carbon credits so that they cannot be banned of environmental pollution. So the president of Ghana really got it hard. And he said, why do you come to Africa and tell us how to manage the environment, yet in your own land there is no natural planted tree, which is true. There is no space for wild animals, yet you come and tell us how to take care of wild animals. Why do you think wild animals are in Africa all over? They're here because we conserve the environment for them, not in westernized world. So the Ghana president said, we have always sold you cocoa in a very, very cheap price. You take our cocoa, you can process the most expensive chocolate, then you come and sell to Africa, very expensive. You make expensive coffee and all other related products. So the president said, together with the president of Cote d'Ivoire, from now henceforth, they will only export a quarter of cocoa to the UK, and the rest of cocoa they will be processing locally. And as we speak, they have started processing local chocolates from Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire, and they're already in Kenyan market. And I believe that that is the best stand that West Africa have ever taken against the threats of the whites.
West Africans are usually booty clappers for the white man, that's true. So finally they can take their stand. At least Kenya is different a bit, right?
Yeah. So I believe that that is the best decision Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire have made. And I am looking for that the 52 other countries remaining in Africa continent should take the same stand. By the way, to be honest, climate change crisis is not affecting Africa as a continent. Africa is a continent. We have clean water, natural, from underground, streams. We have rains. And by the way, we don't have the four seasons that affects you, the whites. We don't have summer, we don't have autumn, we don't have winter. You know, we are blessed and we thank God for that. So why will you come and impose on us issues that you have there?
Especially since they are the contributors to over 70% of global climate change, where Africans are the least contributor. So they want themselves to develop using industrialization, and Africans.
And then they limit us because we don't produce cars. But I love the fact that most of our presidents are really standing up on this. Our president said Kenya must produce their own cars, irrespective of what you guys say.
Really?
Yeah. So why would you limit us? You say we can't do industrialization because the climate crisis, the world need a balance. By the way, God did a balance during COVID-19. There was no production for a whole year, and the global warming issues went low.
Much lower, yeah.
Yeah, so God has a way of balancing things. Don't impose on us. Let us be us. You come exploit us with our natural resources, go process in your country, then come and tell us not to do the same for ourselves. What kind of hypocrisy are you?
Should Black Americans, Caribbeans, Brazilians come to an African country, invest, we build our own market so that they can't control? The issue now is they can tell Ghana, we won't buy your cocoa then, or something like that. So then that's part of the economy. Because even in Kenya right now, Nescafe, right? I like Nescafe coffee. Kenya Caf or something.
Kenya Cave.
Yes.
Kenya
Now, how is it that it costs more money here by up to $3 than the UK?
Okay, fine. UK needs cocoa more than Ghana and Cote d'Ivoire. That's the fact. Because number one, they have monopolized the chocolate market. So when they don't have the natural resource, they don't have the raw resource for it. They need Ghana, they need Cote d'Ivoire. Africa, we have nothing to lose, as I said earlier. We have nothing to lose.
I see. And
actually, when they refuse to buy, it will give us strength. We buy it, we process locally, we sell it cheaper. And by the way, the good thing, a lot of private investors have already gone to Ghana. So UK, we're not going to buy your carbon credits, but we will still run our countries and leave us alone.
But this is crazy. It's not just the UK, even the European Union, they're telling
Yes, they are selling us carbon credits. Yeah. You're just doing business with us, exploiting us. East, west, left, center. We are so tired of your exploitation.
And they're the ones
leave us alone.
The most. In fact, even Uganda, right, recently, they were telling the Ugandan president he can't make his oil pipeline because now he wants to
the East Africa.
Yes.
You guys know that.
So he doesn't want
Kenya have agreed to that, and we're gonna make it. And you can't stop us, You know Kenya is your stronghold in Africa. So when we don't support it, your balance is shaken. So please, just leave us alone. Let's develop ourselves. And we're so tired of importing finished goods which were exported using our raw material. Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't make sense.
If you want to process anything, come process it here in Kenya. And then export the finished material to a country. Go sell to your people at double price. Because our farmers are suffering. Our people, our land is being destroyed by you coming and doing mining, take the gold, and then go refine and come
Actually,
and sell it
in Nigeria,
for us expensive. It's not fair.
In Nigeria, Shell actually controls the market so much that they pay the Nigerian government military money to even kill some people.
To cause coup, cause peace and stability. But in Kenya, you know what? You see, we are coming up with our rubies. Rubies is a Kenya pure petrol, which is mined in Lake
Does Kenya have oil?
We have oil in Lake Turkana and part of Northeastern. We have oil. So
the dusty areas, the desert areas.
The first project which is tested is in Ruby's petrol station, and Ruby's is in every place right now in this country. Okay. And the petrol is doing well. People are fueling their cars. It's working. So it's the first project, and in the first 5, 10, 20 years, we'll be stable. We won't need Shell anymore. Shell, you actually destroying the ocean side of Kenya. Like in Mombasa, there's a lot of issue. Shell are dumping on the ocean, and yet they are not doing anything about controlling it. And it is so hypocritical. I was seeing the leaders of Shell talking in the COP27 at Egypt and saying all good things, yet in reality they are the one destroying the environment.
I see.
These people are very hypocritical. One word to the whites. Unless you start doing what you're preaching, we are so tired of your hypocrisy. Leave us alone. Leave us alone. Welcome back.